Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Motor City Mad Mile Show here in Miami. I'm here with baseball lifer Don Mattingly. Don, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here, back in Miami, and to see you. So glad to be on.
Well, glad to have you. So, all right, we'll go out there and talk about things in Toronto real quick. You have a pretty good ball club.
We do. We kind of started off the year kind of floating around 500, and then seemed to catch fire. We swept the Yankees in Toronto, and from there we've kind of taken off.
How far do you think this ball club can go?
Well, we believe we can go all the way. We have a good combination of pitching. Our bullpen's been pretty good. We're scoring runs. We play pretty good defense, and that's a pretty good recipe for having a chance to beat just about anybody.
Let's talk about your days in New York. Obviously, you're revered there. Your number's retired. You're in Monument Park, the best Yankee to ever play without a World Series. Hate to remind you that, but hey, to be honored there, I'm sure you're looking forward to an old-timers game at some point. Rick and Don knows. Talk about your days in New York.
Obviously, that's kind of obviously where I grew up as a player. Got there at, I think, right around age 20, 21. Raised my family there for the most part, my early family, and so obviously good times in New York. I love playing there. I think it's a great place to play.
I got to tell you what's so interesting. When you were in Greensboro, I was in Fort Lauderdale, and I remember when guys like William McGee were shipped out, Rex Hudler, but you're one of the few that they developed that actually stayed.
Yeah, at that point it was tough to break through, and Willie and I played together in AA Nashville, and still obviously friends to this day, and shocked that how they let him go. I don't know, because I thought he was one of the best players I ever played with.
So when we talk about your time in New York, I think timing is probably not very good, because you got there in, I believe, 82, you missed out on an opportunity to go to the World Series, and then 90, and then obviously 96. But do you think that the fact that the Yankees didn't win as much cost you an opportunity at championships, would probably derailed your ability to get to Cooperstown?
No, I really don't think that derailed me. I think more than anything, injuries I had trouble with my back later in my career, wasn't able to do the same things that I did early. And so as much as anything, not being able to stay on the field and continue to put up numbers at a higher level is the biggest thing. And you have to remember, those days there was no wild card. It was hard to get into the playoffs. I mean, we're in the East with, at that point, it was Milwaukee and Baltimore, Boston, Cleveland was there, and they weren't as good. Detroit was there. So Toronto was in that division. So that was the division. You had to win the division to get in, and that wasn't an easy task in any year.
Now, I know Kirby Puckett's got in with similar numbers like you did. The only difference is he has a hardware, and I know a lot of people are still thinking, including my friend Bob Ryan, you should be in. How would you feel if the opportunity comes to get in, or are you really is it a bonus at this point since you haven't gotten in so far?
I think it would be a bonus at this point, but you hope that one day, right, they see that, and you can't really argue. For me, because there's a lot of great players that I played with that aren't in the Hall of Fame. Guys that I played with, Kirby was a great player. A lot of different guys that I played with, I felt like were great players. Some are in, some are not.
All right, so do you ever yearn for the ability to manage? I know Tommy Hutton once said, if you can't play for Don Mattingly, you can't play for anybody. And I know that you had a pretty decent run in Miami with what you had to work with. And I know you being in L.A., you took them to 3 playoffs in a row. How proud of you are all of those things?
No, all of it. I think it's one of the things that I wanted to do in my career is have a chance to manage. And I got that opportunity in L.A., obviously, to start. Proud of what we were able to kind of accomplish there, and kind of was part of getting that run started out there. And actually, Miami, I felt like we were going to be – I loved the club that I had when I came here. We had Realmuto and Stanton, Yelich, Ozuna. It was a club that could play. And then I think the Jose thing here really hurt us, set the organization back a little bit. And we weren't able to continue to grow. Obviously, we make it in 20, win a round in the playoffs in the COVID year. But, yeah, I love my time in Miami, the opportunity here. My son basically grew up here for the most part. Louis, first 7 years of his life were here, and I enjoyed Miami.
Yeah, a few more questions. I know you have to get going, but we've talked in the past about baseball being whether it's watchable. How much has it improved a little bit? And also, what are your thoughts about the ABS system that's coming up?
I love the rule changes. I think the rule changes have been really good for the game. Pace of play, the pitch clock, I think has been a good thing. The rule, I think even the bases just being a little bigger and allowing, and guys, the only 3 disengagements has allowed more base running and base stealing. I think it's helped the game. The challenge system is what I think is going to come, and you only get a couple a day, a couple of games, so you got to be halfway strategic. How do you use those? So I don't really mind it. I don't think it's going to change the game a whole lot. Just make, I guess, as much as anything, a big call late in the game or something you can challenge.
I've always made a case for you getting in the Hall of Fame. I know the only thing missing is a plaque, but I see a lot of your paraphernalia there and a lot of people. What are your thoughts when people are thinking, hey, this guy does belong in there, but your stuff is already in there, so they're recognizing your accomplishments? It's hard to not be proud of that.
Oh, definitely proud of things that I was able to accomplish in the game. I wish I would have did more. I think like any player, you always felt like you could be better, and I'm no different. So I felt like I could have been better. My career could have been better, but that's not going to change now. Everything I was able to do, I'm proud of the way I played, all of those things. So and I love when people always, when they talk to me, they say the same thing. I think you should be in the hall or whatever, and that makes you feel good that people enjoyed your game, but. It's kind of out of your hands at this point.
What's your involvement with the Nashville Stars? I know they're talking expansion, but you've also been a part of that as well. And, that's got to be something you got to feel pretty good about.
Just an advisory crew or advisory committee with them, and it's close to home. It would be something I really think should happen. I think it will happen. Nashville's a great city. I think they'll be a good baseball city. They've already proven that they support. They've had the football has done really well there. Hockey came and it's done well there. The soccer is there now. They're doing well. So Nashville's a great city, and it's set up with, they have the stars from the music industry. A lot of those people live there in that area. And that's what, you go to LA, you see stars at the games and things like that. And I think the same thing will happen in Nashville.
And my final question, let's talk about Mattingly Charities. How proud of you are you of Mattingly Charities and what you're trying to do? The floor is now yours.
Well, extremely proud, and probably as proud of that as almost anything that I've been able to do in the game is now having a chance to change the help be a part of changing the city. And kids, and give kids in underserved areas and kids that don't have the same opportunities as others, get them an opportunity to have a better life and be a better citizen and all those kind of things and make your town better. So really proud of what's going on with Mattingly Charities.
Well, Don, you look great in pinstripes, let alone any jersey that you're in. But I am so glad that we had an opportunity here in Miami to talk a little bit about not only our history, but where you're at. And I hope and pray, like everybody on the planet, that a World Series ring gets to you one way or another, because if anybody deserves it, it is you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.